let's say I'm doing a movie about Dr. Bernard Okoe Boye. First scene of the movie, setting, where is he born, where is he raised, what is he doing some many years ago?
Yeah, thank you very much. So I was born, my mom tells me I was born in the Osu maternity home.
Okay.
But my mom and dad all come from Teshi, so I'm 100% Teshi. And I'm a twin.
Wow.
So when you hear Oko, anytime you hear Oko, you should know that the fellow is a twin. So I came with a lady who is Akwele. She's a nurse. She's with the 37 Military Hospital. So I was born in Teshi, and my early days I schooled. My kindergarten was in the military academy training school. Mats, you know, our house is not far from the barracks.
The one around the beaches?
Yes, around the next door.
Nice.
So I went to the kindergarten and then continued at the Field Engineers Basic School, which is a government school. It's like Saito, but it's for the army schools.
Yeah.
And it's just opposite the next door beach resort.
Okay.
That school by the roadside. Yeah, that's why I attended from class 1 all the way to JHS 3. So I finished JHS 3 in 97, and then I was through hard work and through God's grace, I had 12 ones. So I got to enter my favorite school then, which was Presec Legon. So I went to Presec in 98, and I offered science. And finished Presec in 2000. And it was in Presec that I had my first taste of leadership or politics. I was the SRC Financial Secretary. And when I finished Presec, I had to wait 2 years to go to Tech. You know, when I finished in our year, you could go to the university the subsequent year. But I was offered pharmacy. And I said, whatever it takes, I wanted to do medicine. And I remember being told that, okay, I think my year was the first batch. My year was the first batch that two badges had to go to Tech the same year. You know, normally, let's say those who finish in 2000,
yes, would have to
go. But for the first time, both, I think 2000, which is my badge, and then 99, which was the badge before us, were all going to the university at the same time. So I was told that, okay, because of the numbers, if you still want medicine, you have to wait 1 more year. So I was like, why not? So I was in the house. I wrote an application letter. You know, I come from, I don't know the word to use, but, you know, those homes where you have to also support the family so that you can put body and soul together. So I wrote an application to about 12 pharmacy shops from La Scala all the way to Sakumono. Every pharmacy shop, and every single pharmacy shop by the roadside. And I said, look, I did science, I had 12 ones, I'm supposed to stay at home, and I don't want to just be idle, so I want to work with you, because anything you want me to do. So I remember at the Sakumono Junction, they have one pharmacy they call Bernard. I think they've stopped operating. The owners left and settled, I think, in the States. But the boss saw my results, and I was like, wow, I mean, to have such a person want to work with us, why not? So they took me on, and guess what? I wasn't the one selling the drugs. I was in charge of cleaning the pharmacy, making sure the place is clean. If people come, I have to serve, support, even sometimes the kids. More or less like not a house help, but a shop help.
That was not what you applied for.
Yeah, that's not what I applied for. But, you know, I don't belittle any kind of job, any kind of work that you want me to do. I mean, I am ready to do, of course, if it's work that is decent. And I consider any work that others do for salary as decent. I mean, cleaning a shop, whatever. So I worked with them. They were so excited with me. And I remember when I finally got my admission, they even supported me with some funds because of the way I worked and related with them. So then I went to Tech and I started medicine. And I remember in the second year, some came to me and said, Doc, so they were like, Oko, we know you were active in Presec. Why not do politics here? And, you know, although I had a lot of love for politics, in fact, I was the campaign manager for one of the SRC presidents in my second year. So they were like, when I was campaigning, they said, why are you campaigning for someone? You should be standing yourself. But the reason why I didn't go myself is that, we are coming from a very humble home. Sometimes even what to eat was a problem. So you didn't have the strength to now pay money into billboards and make bills and try and spend on other activities. So I got convinced by one mate in Presec who came to me, Maximus, and said, Doc.
That's a political name.
Yeah, Maximus Edusafo. He was my mate in Presec, and then we went to Tech. And he was like, look, I'm ready to go for SRC president, but I need you on board. I told myself quietly that, well, as the running mate, you don't need to, if you don't have the funds, you can bring your energy and your talents on board. So I was more or less the leader of the campaign, making a strong case why we had to be voted for. So in the third year, I became the SRC vice president, and then Maximus was the president. So finally, we finished Tech. That's the first 4 years of medicine. I got a BSc degree in human biology, and then had to go to Kofanochi to continue the last 3 years. So in Kofanochi too, I was involved in student politics, Medical Students Association, MSA. So I went for the elections for MSA president, and one of the accusations was that as for me, I'm a professional politician, so they should not allow me to
That's your field.
Get into the student politics. They felt that I was doing national politics, because even by Tech time, Kofanochi time, I was going on radio to speak for the NPP. I don't know, at an early age, all my relatives, most of them were NDC. But growing up, I felt that they couldn't convince me why they were doing NDC. And I was liberal, so I joined the NPP.
With that.
So finally, I went for my MSc elections, medical students, and I lost by a margin of 2 or 3 votes. It was one of the most contested elections.
Yes.
And I learned a lot of things from that, which helped me actually
to contest,
to win 2016. Because almost everybody told me, oh, you had won this election. You've done so well. You speak, your policies are clear. And then after the election, I went to sleep. In fact, during the election, I was just relaxing and chilling.
Because you thought you had won.
Only to realize that a lot of funny things happened. So the lesson I learned from that election is that until the last ballot is counted, it wasn't over.
You haven't won.
So, I brought that into my constituency election. So finally, I finished Tech in 2009. I went straight to Central Region to practice. And then after some time, I went around the country. I like to travel. Work. Went to Dunkwa Onofin in the Central Region. I went to Chebi, finally came to Tema General. And then in 2015, I went on leave without pay to do my constituency politics. And then, but I have not brought Germany in whilst I was in Kenya.
We're going to get to that.
All right.
All this that you've said, trust me, is just a summary.
Yeah.
I'm super interested in getting the details in there.
Absolutely.
Which is actually going to move me to take you back all the way to your childhood again.
No problem.
Science is a field you've conquered now. I say you've conquered because you've done a lot in there. Yeah. You've experienced a lot in there for years. Was this your interest growing up, or you had other career aspirations? Did you always want to be a doctor?
Well, I don't know. I think, in school, I found science to be interesting. Interesting because I saw science to be a subject that was a living thing. A living thing as in. Science is not dead. There are some areas that I read, and it's like, this is what has been found in this area, and that's it. But with science, it's like it can change. You know that you are reading about this particular discovery. You've been told that it has changed 3-4 times. So I saw science to be action. It's a subject where you have to be humble to know that what you know now can change tomorrow. You must have an open mind, and you must also be willing to be tested, to think outside the box and all that. So that is what drew me to science. And as kids, I had to do some surgery when I was in the GHS. And I remember my mom took me to 37 Military Hospital. And there's this doctor, may he so rest in peace, Dr. When a name comes out, mention. Sure. He's one of the very good surgeons in 37 Military Hospital. And anytime we had to see this doctor, we were in a queue. And we go there very early in the morning. We get there sometime around 5 a.m. And we wait there, we'll sit the whole time. And when this doctor comes around 8:39, he was gorgeously, he's in his white robe, he's a German trained. And he comes and he has some aura, some nobility. And we are all looking at us, who is this man? He said, he's the doctor. I was like, wow, I want to be like this. And when you are interacting with him, he's very nice. He's very calm, and he comes with some hope. It's like when we see him, we know that look, the problem will be solved. So from that experience, I told myself I want to be a physician and a surgeon as well. So that is where the medicine thing came from when I was in the junior high school. I think class 6 or so.
This is YFM.